Hello, I'm Emma O'Brien, transformational life and business coach, and in this video I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you get out of your comfort zone. So back in medieval times, when people hadn't fully explored the globe or their local territory particularly, they created maps, and on the areas where they didn't know what was there, they put "Here be dragons." And that was just like, we don't know what's there, could be a bit dodgy, we just don't know, don't go there. And this is just such a wonderful analogy, I think, to use when we are talking about making changes to our lives or businesses that are uncomfortable for us, that take us out into completely unknown territory. Now, stepping out of comfort zones can range from sending your CV out to prospective employers, to sending an email to somebody asking if they'd like to collaborate with you on something, to exiting a marriage, to quitting a job. I think this is the thing with it, is they can range so hugely in scope. But what tends to keep us stuck is fear of the dragons, it's fear of the unknown, and it's also can be fear of how other people are going to respond and what sort of reaction it's going to elicit. So essentially, the fear of going out of what we're familiar with just keeps us stuck. And generally, when we're stuck in a comfort zone, it's boring, it's unfulfilling, and it's crap. But we stay there because it's boring, unfulfilling crap that we can predict. And it tends to take the pain of staying stuck to get so enormous that it pushes us to make a move to get out of our comfort zone. And I would hazard a guess and suggest that it's not necessarily necessary to allow it to get so bad before you make an exit. So I'm going to share with you 3 tips that you can start to implement to help you take baby steps to get out of your comfort zone, whether that's a big comfort zone or a small comfort zone. But if it happens in incremental steps, it's generally a little bit easier and less of a dramatic thing to do. So if I take an example of one time when I got out of a comfort zone, was leaving my first and only marriage. And I sat for 2 years, not being terribly happy, thinking maybe something's going to change. I will just preface this with, this is not an opportunity for me to sit and bash my ex-husband. It takes 2 people. In our case, it took 2 people not communicating effectively for the marriage to fail. So I don't want anyone to think I'm sitting here doing some sort of husband bashing exercise. I'm not. But I sat in it for 2 years being unhappy. And it took a bit of a catalyst for me to go, right, that's it, I'm done. And what had stopped me from doing it sooner was not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing how I was going to react, not knowing whether I could cope with or wanted life on my own. But it got to the point where I was like, that life on my own and the unknown is better than staying here. And it took a 2-minute conversation to end that marriage. And I think afterwards I was like, God, I was worrying about this for so long, and it's done. In a nanosecond, it's done. And that's the thing, is we tend to psych ourselves up and worry about what's going to happen, and it stops us from making anything happen. Yes, it got worse before it got better afterwards. Anyone who's got divorced will know it's a very unpleasant scenario to find yourself in. But I got through it, and life is better for both of us on the other side. So it's better for both of us on the other side. So yours might not be as dramatic as that, but it might be making a career change, it might be making a job change, it might be handing a resignation in at work, it might be starting your business. So these things happen in little steps, and I'll invite you to have a look at what's the first step you need to take to move yourself just out of the edge of your comfort zone. Anyway, to get to the point of the video, here are my 3 tips for helping you get out of your comfort zone and to move from where you are, which if you're watching this is probably a bit stuck and fed up, to where it is you want to be, or at least on the journey to where it is you want to be. So the first one is to get super clear on why it is you want to be over there and not here. So when you've got a clear why for why you want to do what you want to do, it's great because it's really good motivation. We need to know why we're doing something in order for us to be able to do it. It's difficult to sit and say, I don't like my job, is fine, but what do you want to be doing instead? And why would you want to be doing that instead? So to get out of the ruminating over being stuck in a loop and go, this is what I would prefer, this is why, and this is what I'm going to go after. So get super clear on why it is you want to make a change. What's the potential payoff for you in making that change and getting out of your comfort zone? Fundamentally, we never really know until we're there, but what are the possibilities for you? So we just need to be excited about the possibilities. Number 2 is to plan the journey. So if we were journeying into here be dragons, we might take some snack items that dragons might like because we might want to distract them. We might take some weaponry. So whatever your metaphorical dragon slaying or taming, if we're being a bit kinder to them, whatever the tools you are for that, what are they? How can you best plan? So if you were wanting to start your own business, for instance, what pieces do you need to have in place to get that business going? Do you need to do some training for something? Do you need to hire someone to do a website? Do you need to do some market research? Because sitting with, I want to start a business, but I don't know what, and here I am employed and I hate it, to running your own business is quite a big jump. But there are a lot of steps along the way and you just got to take the first one. So start to plan. What action steps do I need to take to get here? And as soon as we know what the action steps are, we take the sting and the fear out of the unknown because we're starting to plan and we're starting to know what we need to do. And as a coach, this is something I help my clients with. I am the dragon guide, call me that. And I am here to help facilitate, hold my clients accountable to making changes and support them as they make changes because it's hard, which is why we don't do it. It's why we say stay stuck. And the third tip for getting out of your comfort zone is to give yourself a bit of a reward when you've completed some of the tasks. And that might be a small reward, like I'm going to send 5 emails out, then I'm going to go and have a coffee. I am going to make 10 calls, and then I'm going to go walk the dog. I am going to do 5 podcast pitches every day this week, and when I've done that, I'm going to take myself off and buy a pair of shoes. I never do that. Not referring to myself at all. You will automatically get a bit of a dopamine hit from completing a task anyway. So you will, the more tasks you complete that are a bit uncomfortable for you, you will get, your brain will reward you with some chemicals. So again, that incentivizes you to go and do more stuff anyway. So to summarize here, getting out of a comfort zone can be a process, and it is literally as simple as taking the first step. So what's that phrase? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And that is the whole principle of getting out of a comfort zone, is deciding where it is you want to go, why you want to go there, and what do I need to do to take me one step closer to getting there. And if you need some support and help on the way, please do get in touch with me. I am a transformational coach, which essentially means I help people navigate change. I've navigated a huge amount of change multiple times in my life, and it's something I'm very adept at guiding and helping my clients do. So if that is something you're curious about, please do get in touch with me. And on that note, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you here again soon.